Craig Fitzgibbon, who's now the coach of the Sharkies, he rang me and said, mate, I think they're going to pick you. He goes, answer the phone if a weird number. I was like, oh, mate, I'm so unfit. He goes, I think I'm going to dog it, man. I think I'm going to dog it. I hung up and the phone rang. It was this number. And I was like, hello. And he goes, congratulations, Guru. You're playing for Australia. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yo, what up? Welcome back to Chillionaires.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We're good. We got Azzy back from the States.
Yes, I'm back. They let me in.
Yeah. You beat it, man. You beat COVID. You got through it all.
COVID,
Finally got on the plane.
Trump, Biden.
How was it?
1 second.
Take your time, brother.
Bear with me.
It's all good. I'm bearing.
Yeah, went to Hawaii. Started off in Waikiki. And then
nice.
LA, Vegas, back to Waikiki.
Did you get some barrels?
In the green room.
Yeah.
I attempted it one day and yeah, it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got spitted out a barrel and pipe.
Yeah, I went to pipe. I was expecting to swim a pipeline.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a normal beach.
Nah, man.
But there's like reef. Yeah, and there's reef. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
it's probably another place to swim.
No one was swimming.
Nah.
It was like signs saying don't swim.
You met John Florence.
Yeah, John Florence.
Yeah.
I didn't know who that was till that moment.
And he was like, yeah, come back to my place. I'll teach you how to surf. That.
Pretty much. We had that connection without the communication. Like he looked at me going like...
Because he's going to come on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
John Florence, yeah. Alright, sweet.
John.
Nice, bro. Nice.
So it was interesting seeing that. I didn't know everyone's taking photos of the surfer.
Yeah.
So I assumed it was a famous pro surfer. And then I asked people and they're like, that's John Florence. And I'm like, oh yeah, who's that?
Right. Well, we got a famous pro footy player.
Yeah, today.
Ex-pro footy player coming on. That's pretty good. You know,
Yeah.
we talk about everything, NRL, everything.
The
Not
glory
NRL.
days. It was when we were watching it, really. That was like the...
Yeah. I believe it was 1990, I just went to stadium, 1990 to 2010. This guy tore it up.
Yeah.
Even played for our team, the Roosters.
Yeah, even for... Yeah.
What do you reckon? I think we get him on.
Yep, that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Grothe Jnr. on Chillionaires. Welcome, mate.
Good to be here, fellas.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming, bro.
No worries, man.
Made the trip from Camden.
Yeah, all the way out west. Yeah, I thought it was like 50 odd minutes. Ended up being about an hour 20.
By horseback.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what everyone rides around there. Horse and cart.
Oh man, no, we really appreciate you coming.
No, that's good, man. It's all good. We've been trying to do it for a while, eh?
Yeah, man. Just kept, things kept getting in the way.
Is this where I'm about right?
Yeah.
Unreal,
Unreal, man.
Yeah.
Unreal.
What's going on?
Mate, this guy just got back from America.
Yep.
Holiday. Yeah, I've just been
2 years.
I love America. Used to go every year at the end of the year, trip away, try and get over there. Because every state's so different, eh?
Yeah.
It's like it's got its own flavour, every state. And
different country.
Texas a few times.
Were you there when Obama was the president?
Yes.
Must have.
Have you been there like when Obama was president and then when there was another president?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. I went there, pre-Trump.
Pre-Trump.
It was Obama, all Obama, yeah. Whenever I've been there, it's been Obama, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was 8 years, yeah.
Yeah. He
Good
smashed
times.
And then Trump came in, and then the mighty Joe Biden.
Yeah. Oh, he's on top of his shit.
Oh my gosh.
I understand.
I feel sorry for him. Like, from what I read, there's some horrible war crimes in his resume, but also just an old man who doesn't know what's going on. And they just sticking him out there, say this, say that, and then try to direct him.
Have you seen when he's falling asleep in an interview?
Yeah, that's
He's not ready.
No,
He's retired.
They must just be going like, oh no, what's he saying? He starts going off script and then they shoot themselves.
But at the same time, I think it was good for America because Trump was just so loud and vocal, Twitter and everything, and then Biden comes in and you just don't hear any of that shit anymore.
Yeah,
so
I'd rather hear all the shit.
Yeah.
I don't trust. What I liked about Trump was he wasn't in the same gang as those guys, and he was a great disruptor. And no matter what you say about Trump, you've got to say that you like that he pointed out that the media are full of shit.
Mate, I agree.
And gave him a moniker, fake news, and then even liberals and Democrats in America now
Yeah.
call it the fake news.
Now,
which
he
never
really
happened.
said fuck you to the PC culture, to be honest.
Yeah.
He wasn't following all the bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you can say all that shit. Like, there's some stupid things he said, but like, what politician or president doesn't?
Oh, he's got a massive ego. No doubt he's got a massive ego and all that stuff. But I think his ego was so big too that he really wanted to do good.
Yeah.
For the sake of the ego, as well as I think he really loves America and all that stuff. And he went in there to kind of be a businessman and clean house a little bit. And it was quite abrupt and abrasive and brutal at times. But mate, he's in my opinion, one of the funniest unintentional comedians.
Yeah,
he's an entertainer.
If you watch his like sprays when he's spraying people in the compilations, and they do the with the glasses against the moments. Mate, it cracks me up.
Mate, so what have you been up to? How you been? What's happening with you, mate?
Mate, I just I was up in the Gold Coast. I was doing some online marketing stuff, pretty much like just helping mums and dads who are overweight lose weight.
Yep.
And then a bloke turned up and he had this old mate of mine had a marquee business, and he was like, "Oh, let's make it bigger, blah blah blah." So I was like, "Yeah." Anyway, that didn't work out. Some things happened, and I just ended up doing it on my own.
Okay.
And now I'm just popping marquees up in people's backyards, non-stop, all
No way.
day, every day, man. Yeah.
Really? That's
Not every day. Like it's mainly from Thursday through to Tuesday.
for events and stuff like that.
Yeah, just events like backyard parties, outdoor events. It's not the sexiest job, but it's just a good steady. Like a lot of people need them.
Yeah, right.
I didn't realise how great. Like it's just like another world. I've just gone from not doing anything like that to being in this industry that's just flat out. The phones just don't show up, especially when it's going to rain and people are panicking because they've got a 2-year-old's birthday coming up.
Oh, it must have been.
And their missus is yelling, "Where's the shelter?" and all that. They just start ringing me and they throwing money at you. Just get me, So
good, those random little things that you don't really think about.
Yeah. I never knew. I knew my mate used to do it. I knew it was good and that, but being involved in answering the phones and listening to people beg you for your product is good, rather than trying to jump out in front of a stranger and say, "Hey, are you interested in this?"
Absolutely.
So it's like jumping castles.
Business definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's like
every kid
wants a jumping castle. I had a jumping castle. It's fire.
like for a birthday.
Yeah. Recently.
So, I mean, there's a lot of businesses doing it, but it's one of those weird. You wouldn't think there'd be that many people wanting it.
Yeah, exactly. So what did you
everywhere in Sydney?
Yeah, it's so our business is called Marquee High Sydney, which
Marquee High Sydney.
I didn't even mean to plug it. I just wanted to say that what happened. Like I was on the phone to the bloke who does our website, and I said, "What name should I have? Shouldn't I just have the most boring, basic name what people will search?"
Yeah.
And I didn't know that had a term back then. They're called exact match domain names. So I said, "Wouldn't it be best just to have Marquee Hire and then the area?" Because that's what people Google, right? And he goes, "Yeah, but you can't get that. That'll be taken. Like try to go and buy Plumbers Sydney or Carpenter Sydney. You just can't." But I hung up and I went on there, and Marquee High Sydney was available, and so
it sounds good though.
Yeah, the .com and the business name are available. Then I was like, what about all the other areas? So I looked, Marquee High, Gold Coast, Brisbane, Newcastle, Hunter Valley, Melbourne, Perth. I just bought them all.
You're
Cost
kidding.
about $4,000.
Mate,
also.
That's genius.
And it's like, they're just sitting there kind of thing. But I know if I turn them on and use them and set up like gear in those areas, then it could.
That's like the next step. Like you kill it here, and then you can.
I don't want to franchise it. I'd rather just like go partners with a few bigger areas and kind of just add to what I'm doing now. Franchising, there's too much red tape in my opinion. Like it's too hard. It's too many boxes to tick, and a lot of insurances and things you've got to worry about. When you're a partner with someone, you're in it with them. It's a little bit less.
Yeah, it is weird too because you've also got to trust, like strangers with your brand.
That's true. That too. Yeah, and
Just call Jim's Bowie and ask him how he.
Well, mate, it's funny. I actually rang Jim's Bowie just to suss them out. I feel a bit bad because I had them on the phone for about an hour and a half, and they were just telling me everything about their business model, probably thinking I was going to buy one of them. But I was like, how many lawns? Like, if I wanted to clear, say, $7,000 a month, clear after costs and all that, what would I have to do? And they calculated. He goes, mate, there's blokes who do that. That's 8 lawns a day, 5 days a week.
No.
That's 40 lawns a month.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm not doing that
for
$7,000.
That's a.
I can get that in 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Not like they're 2 great jobs, but you know what I mean, as an example.
Work smart, not hard.
Yeah, I'd rather just have something that doesn't take so long. And
Yeah, if they ate it next to each other every day, that's a different story.
Yeah.
It's
That's
complex or something would be easy.
That's a lot, 8 a day.
Yeah, and that's
consistent.
like lawns. Like sometimes they do like
Yeah,
one
different
big
stuff.
space and it'll be more money, so it's not that many
Yeah.
trips. But packing up and unpacking and packing up like even 5 times is a lot.
Yeah. Well, shout outs to the boys doing that.
Oh yeah, man. I use them. We get them.
Yeah.
They mow our lawns. Junior mow. They're awesome.
Yeah, shout outs to
Awesome.
them.
We've done well with this franchise business anyway. Out of the
Yeah, and
Oh,
people
great.
love it. They love being outside. It's a healthier kind of job, you know,
Yeah.
being outside. People don't mind it. I'm getting paid just to, you know, walk
Yeah, it's
the
unreal.
mower up the lawn. It's all good.
It's like pretty standard like materials you need, like
Yeah.
all tools.
Yeah.
Mower, you know.
That's it. Healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, it's good
it'll
stuff.
be good for your own home, knowing how to do all that stuff.
So mate, you're making a return to footy.
Return to
Yeah.
Oh man, no.
Where's
Tigers.
the Roosters
The
aside?
Tigers.
I tried that. That didn't work out the first time, so I don't think they'll go back there. But I actually local footy in Camden. There's like the Narellan Jets and the Camden Rams, and I spoke to a few of them about a year ago, and I was thinking, could I have a crack at it? Like, you get some decent cash just to turn up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
Yeah?
they give you the
Hey,
little
well,
bit
you're
of
looking like you can play footy.
No,
You're
man.
fit.
Thanks very much, man. I've been
Yeah.
sucking it in since I got here. I wore black too. I wore
Yeah,
black.
oh man, I got a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, they got COVID, man. COVID.
Yeah,
The
COVID.
lockdown's got us.
Yeah, lockdown.
Hey, I looked at my my credit card thing, the Uber Eats.
Oh,
I've just cut it. I haven't had it for a
You know,
month.
I delete it, and
Yeah.
when I want it, it's down the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
side.
yeah.
Fucking-
It's
I
too
want
accessible.
I delete one and I've got 6 others.
It needs to be
Yeah.
like sports bet, and
You
you can
gotta ban
actually
yourself.
get banned.
Yeah, that's cool. I've banned myself about a month ago. I haven't touched it too. I'm pretty proud of myself.
Yeah. So what happened with that? You didn't end up playing for the Rams.
No, I started doing a bit of training, like some footy, CrossFit kind of training, and I realised pretty quickly, like I'm 42, so
And also like just the amount of injuries you're seeing.
yeah, and you're not covered, like
Not
you're covered for stuff like that too. And it's not like when you're playing in a first grade club.
Yeah.
Everything's
Yeah,
right.
right,
You
yeah.
get physio, for free every day, 3 times a day if you want chiro, whatever you want. This is like you'd have to pay for all that yourself and all that stuff. So it just made sense to get over it.
So what was that like when you we wanted to ask when it was like what was it like when you first got signed in the NRL? Like how did the whole work? Yeah.
Oh, it happened really quickly. I was doing nothing. I was in a band and I was just touring up and down the East Coast with another bit
Straight
older.
on the guitar.
Yeah, I was playing bass in this band. They were called
Okay.
Downtime. They're actually Newtown boys, and they were pretty well established. Like they played a few big day outs and toured with Pennywise and Warp Tours and all
sick.
that. And I was a fan of them, and I used to go and watch them. And their bass player didn't turn up to a gig that was out the front of my mate's CD shop. And my mate rang me and goes, "Oh mate, you know all their songs on bass?" I knew them on bass and guitar because I love them. And he goes, "Mate, their bass player hasn't turned up." And I thought he was taking a piss.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, I'm coming down anyway. You haven't got me. I'm coming down."
Yeah.
So I went down there and they were telling the truth. So I ended up playing bass for 4 of their songs just out the front of his shop there. And then they gave me a CD. He goes, "Learn this and turn up Tuesday and we'll trial you."
How good
And
is
I went,
that?
I knew every song off by heart. Went there, smashed it out. Was in the band. I was like 17 and they were 27, 28. And I was just in this band. All of a sudden it toured and it was unreal.
Did you get to play any of those festivals?
We played a few festivals. There was one up in the Gold Coast. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like with Body Jar and all those kind of old 90s punk rock kind of, punk metal type style bands. And we played with the Deftones. That was the highlight because they were my favourite band at the time. Fu Manchu, a few big kind of American kind of stoner rock and heavy kind of bands. Yeah, no, it was a massive experience for me. And loving music. And then the singer, Billy, the best bloke ever. He ended up passing away. He had a motorbike accident. But I had to choose, or before that was a few years later. Before that, I'd had to. Sorry, you asked me about footy. So
No, that's alright.
what happened was, I was just doing that, and there wasn't much money, as you know, in music, unless you, silver chair or powderfinger in Australia,
Oh man, I just don't know about that.
or Kid Larue,
Kid Larue.
or 1-4.
Yeah, one.
What's that thing they do? Come on, go and pops. You
Yeah.
want to leave difference for that? We're like a bunch of dogs. I find when I watch it, I start doing it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not
man,
bad.
they're
Yeah.
clever buggers.
Shout out
They did well.
Me and my missus, we laugh at drill rap. Like it's funny,
Yeah.
it's some of the stuff they do. But I reckon they do it the best.
Oh man,
I watch like you can go drill rap from all around the world, and you see Iran drill rap, like from Iran, Japanese drill rap, French, and all these different countries. It's just like it looks the same, but just a different kind of
same sort of
couple of different flags in the background. And
same dance moves.
Yeah, the same stuff. And like, the Italians have got this foot thing they do more. And
I want to do a Bondi parody drill. Right?
Yes.
Do like lattes.
Pumpkin spices.
Yeah, so anyway, I was doing nothing other than just in the band, and I was working with the singer. He had a roofing company, but my mate Adrian Rainey, he was like training. He was playing for the Magpies back then, West, and he just used to say, "Look at the size of you. You're so tall. You're skinny, but you're big for nothing." And I was like, "Big for nothing." Yeah, I am. I go, "What do you want to do?" He goes, "Let's do some weights, get strong." So I started doing some weights with him. You know, I'd never done it before, so I went from pretty skinny and tall to pretty quickly. I put on like 10, 12 kilos of muscle mass, and I was eating heaps more, and I just grew really quickly from 16, 17, 18, and then he was like, "Oh, I hadn't played for 3 years. I played Harold Matthews under 14s, and it was like, I'm over it."
What team were you playing for?
Para. And then I was over it, and Dad just said, "Don't play if you don't want to. Just play because you think I played. You have to." I said, "No, team's past." So I stopped, and I just did the music thing, and I was getting unhealthy, man. You know, it's like if you're not trained and stuff, and I just
especially music.
And he was picking me up, dropping me off every day to the gym. So I was like, "Yeah, get bigger, stronger." And then all of a sudden he goes, "What are you going to use it for?" And I was like, "No, it's just health." And he goes, "No, let's use it. Let's put it to the test. There's a trial in West this week." I said, "This week?" I said, "I'm not ready, man." He said, "Yeah." And he started grabbing me, wrestling me. I was getting aggressive, wrestling back. So I ended up going to this trial. The para guy was there. I played pretty good, and he picked me to come back to para. So I went all of a sudden from 3 years of just in a band and doing these ones, these ones to being a full-time athlete, which I wasn't, but I was trying to pose as one. And then I was 18, 19 in first grade, and it was a massive culture shock. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. 19 I was at the first grade game. Yeah.
Oh, so for everyone listening, the sound's going to be pretty phony because I just turned the sound on the recorder. But that's all good.
Okay, do you want to start again?
No, it's all good. It's fine because the phones and the camera picks it up pretty well. Cool. So yeah, we're all sorted here at Chillionaires.
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 Yeah, it's chill. It's all
pretty
chill.
It's like we'll turn the cameras.
That's part of it. It's a different effect.
So what? So you're playing for para like first grade, like?
So I started off in the first grade squad. Brian Smith. Yeah. My father played at the club, and I think he was like keen to develop me and have that family thing at the club. So I was in the first grade squad, but after about 2 months of pre-season, it was quite clear that I was so far behind from missing those development years, 15, 16, 17s. Yeah. I've just gone from 14s to 18s, it's a different world. And he said, "I'll just hop back in the Jersey Flegg squad, train with us, and then at the end of the week you'll go play Jersey Flegg, which was under 18s. I did that. I played 3 games down there and then got picked for reserve grade, played 3 games there, I think, and then first grade, and I was in and out from then on. Up and down.
But you ended up playing Origin and for Australia.
That was a good road.
That came incredible. Out of the Australian one was a surprise. Tamana Tahu injured himself, and I'd just gotten back from a trip away. I got back from Vegas and Cancun, so I was overweight, white, like unhealthy, just seedy, like from drinking too much, your skin goes yellow.
I love how all these opportunities come off the back of like you just not being ready.
I know. I was like, just once I want to be ready, and but Craig Fitzgibbon, who's now the coach of the Sharkies, he rang me and said, "Mate, I think they're going to pick you." He goes, "Answer the phone if a weird number." I was like, "Oh, mate, I'm so unfit." I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to dog it, man. I think I'm going to dog it. Hung up, and then the phone rang. It was this number, and I was like, "Hello." And he goes, "Congratulations, Guru. You're playing for Australia." I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." Like, yeah, awesome, mate. No worries. Hung up. I was living in Cronulla. I just went straight to the beach and ran out to Boat Harbour, and I nearly fucking fainted halfway out because I was that fucking overweight and yuck. And I just every day just made myself run. I was doing burpees, and
so how long was it?
I had about 4 days until I had to meet him at the airport because I was coming back from somewhere and then going somewhere or something. So I was like, fuck. So I just crammed in as much as I could in 4 days, and then luckily I didn't have to play very quickly. Yeah. I was kind of just like a back in the in case someone got injured, an 18th man type thing. And about 3 weeks into the tour, Wayne Bennett gave me a game and it was against France. So. Yeah, it was a test match against France, and they were not like at the level of say Kiwis or the Poms, but they the year before the Aussies were real cocky and it was like 18-0 at half time or something. So we were all like, I don't want to get beat by France in my first test, you know. So that was a big special moment to play France over in Perpignan.
How'd you go in the game?
Wow.
Yeah, we smashed them I think it was like 40 to 6 or something like that. Yeah, it was a big score. It was a good win.
Probably the only bloke to go, fuck, I'm playing.
Oh, no. Just in the state I was in, I was like, I could have been more ready to play for your country, you know?
Yeah.
But I literally just got back, like I think it was a day or two before, I was still a bit jet lagged or whatever, and that phone call came through and I was like, oh, wow, this could not be
I'm
worse
back.
timing.
Back to reality.
But here we are. But what was good about that is if you made the Australian team, you didn't have to go back to pre-season early for your club. So I didn't have to go back till after Christmas. So I just went on a 5-week, basically a Kentucky tour, because I wasn't in the team. So like Wayne Bennett came up to us after training one day and said, "What are you boys doing? Obviously you three aren't in the team. It was me, Andrew Ryan, and Ben Cray. You aren't in the team this week. Go away. We're in Europe. Like get on a plane and go somewhere for a few days." So we're like, well, all right. So we went home after training, had a shower, got a kit on, and went straight up to the travel agent and just said, "Oh, where can we go?" And there's only like 3-day minimum places or whatever. So it was out of Ireland, Scotland, and somewhere in Spain. And the weather wasn't great, so we would have went to Spain, but we ended up just going, let's go to Ireland. And we went to Ireland for a 3-day bender, and it was the best fun I've ever had.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. In Dublin, it was really cold actually. Like in the day it was all right, and then so we were going out and stuff like this, like normal, and then you walk out of the club, everything shuts there around 2. Walk out, and it's just like chill. Just to the bone ice. Like, and we're just outside and there's lines for the cabs. And we're just like, what have we done? Start running, trying to warm the core temperature up. I jumped some poor bloke's cab. Like, I was just like, sorry, mate, I'm sorry. I'm fucking a delay.
Back in the cab jumping days.
Yeah. And I had to take off and find it, Bobcat, because he was walking off with the shits because we didn't have organised bloody cabs. And so I'd pull over in the cab and said, get in, big boy. He was like, oh, yes. He was walking up fucking Dublin. Oh, no, that was unreal. And then we came back and... Yeah, there was a bit of a scare because someone hurt himself in warm-up, and it was that same day we got back. That night was the game. We were like, oh, no. And like, who's ready? And I'm just like, oh, please don't pick me. And then they picked someone else, thank God.
And how did you get... were you ready for the Origin call? That one? Or
yes.
Were you coming off a 5-day bender this time?
No. That was... I was ready. So 2000... So it took me a while to kind of get into the professional headspace of being a professional athlete and ticking all those boxes and stuff, because it was such a culture shock. Like obviously being in a band, a struggling band, travelling up and down the East Coast to a full-time professional athlete. And it took me years. Anyway, I matured after a while finally, and 2004 when I went from the Roosters back to Para, I just made it a real point in my life to not stop being a dickhead and just train hard and tick all the boxes, no shortcuts, all that stuff. And 2004, I started playing great, got injured, missed a lot of that season. 2005, 2006, really tried my ass off, and as a result, got the Origin call up and stuff.
Wow.
So, I got picked for Origin when I was 20, but I had a really bad knee in camp, and I kind of lied to them saying it was all right, and by the end of the week, I'd done a fitness test, so I was nowhere near it. So I would have played when I was 20. I should have just played because they won 50-0 each game. I could have just hung on the wing and done nothing. Probably scored a couple of easy tries, you know. But I didn't end up playing that. So it was good to get a second chance and to have a good crack at it, even though we didn't win the series.
Well, you had a good crack.
Yeah, had a good crack. It was.
So was that your first Origin, the 2006?
2006, yeah. That was at home, ANZ Stadium.
That's the Hodges incident?
Yes. Yeah, he was my roommate.
Yeah, because
I saw him the other day because there was a Roosters reunion in the city.
Yeah, the 2002 team.
Yeah, I went in I wasn't in the team that won a grand final, but I got a couple of texts off the boys. Like, come in, mate. Everyone's here. Even people who weren't in the team. So I went in, and Hodjo, mate, he's a legend.
He threw the first punch. We know that. We know he did.
Did he?
No, I think you did.
I did.
We'll blame it on him though.
Yeah, no, he just going like that. That's right. And I was like, go away. I just kind of piss off kind of thing, and then. I probably should have wound up and tried to knock him out. It would have been better for the highlights. But, mate, he was a legend straight after it. I think he got interviewed and he said, it's just stupid. She goes, we're roomies. It's on the field. It's just stupid shit, whatever. So he was cool about it. And
so you actually, you lived together at that point?
Not at that point. He'd moved out. We were in different places by then. But and I was back at Para. He was still at. I think he might have been at Brisbane then. I can't remember.
Because you sent him a message or something before it, didn't you? There was something on an article I was reading. You said
maybe I can't remember.
A tweet or
I've had a few
MySpace.
concussions.
So like, I'm gonna punch the shit out of
Was
you.
the 06 the John? 05 was the Johns.
That was
That
06.
was Johns, yeah.
05 was Johns.
That was Johns, yeah.
What happened with
When
John?
Johns came back and
Yeah,
came
there was
through.
talk of him coming back in, I think, Game 3 for the 2006 series, but he didn't end up coming back.
So 2006 was the start of our
Losers.
Yeah,
the
so
losing streak. We were winning with a minute or so to go.
Yes.
No way.
And I ran the ball up, played the ball. Brett Hodgson, it was a wayward pass in front of Matt King, and then the fucking genius that is Darren Lockyer just turns up in all the right times and all the right places, towed it through, scored the try.
That's right.
And it's just like, it felt like I won an orange. Like, and that saying just kept ringing over me, never over till the fat lady sings. It was just, it was the shittest feeling. Like, I'd never been so cut about a game.
Because it's right there.
Oh, it was there.
You
We
had
won.
it,
We're kind of like in there, subconsciously kind of celebrating the win.
Yeah.
Like, and then to have it just ripped out like that in front of you and not enough time to do anything about it. I just remember that's the emptiest feeling I've ever had from a footy game, other than when we lost the grand final in 2009. Yeah, but
That's the Hayne one. Yeah, that's when the Hayne 09.
Hayne 09. What an he was.
Are we allowed to talk about Hayne? I don't know.
Yeah. We can talk about Hayne 09.
Hayne 09.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
What's it like running out into the Origin field?
Yeah, it was like everyone says, that big roar and it's just got a thick, dense atmosphere, and you feel like you're in the centre of the world and everyone's watching. Obviously, you're not.
Like
it's a grain of sand on the beach that is the world. But at the time, the media and it's like I'm pretty good at taking myself out of that shit. And with music and stuff too, you can. You've got another kind of hobby thing. And some blokes don't have other hobbies. Like I used to, on a day off, would go and say jam or whatever, and come back and what did you say? Oh, yeah, wrote a couple of songs. Just recorded some demos or whatever. And they're like, what did you do? And I'm like, oh, I just watched the games from the weekend. I was like, oh yeah, look, if you love it, that's good. But I was like, I couldn't imagine doing that shit. Like,
You need a break.
It's good to take yourself out of the madness of it all, because it is a real pretty intense bubble. If you let it be, And it's good. That's why we used to go overseas every year too. You go overseas, not one person gives a rat's ass who you are. You're just treated like a normal person. But if you stay in your rugby league bubble and living in Para or whatever and walking around there and everyone's telling you you're all hot shit and all this, how are you going to not eventually, start believing that bullshit?
That's good that you got that mindset to drop the ego and just kind of.
I'm sure I've carried on. I've carried on a bit in my time too, but as you get older, obviously.
What's that next level that Origin? Like when Origin players go out there, like you can see it on the field, like they're smashing each other. You see that extra.
Yeah, you hear it.
The extra gear. Like what is that extra
it's
gear?
Just because of the
energy
history of it, and it's hard not to get into that higher kind of energy when everyone around you's doing it and the crowd's bigger. There's more eyeballs on you. There's more media on you. It's just, you can't deny that it's bigger.
Yeah.
But I actually found those big games easier than, say, a mid-season game during winter, going down to Canberra, 3-hour bus trip, knowing you're about to run out and just play a horrible game of footy in the freezing cold winds. And that was the hardest shit for me to get my head into. The Origin and that, you can't help it. You're in it, and you feel
it's a moment. It's a real moment.
And obviously you got the top tier players next to you. So your top tier halfbacks and pivotal players putting you in positions you're not always in. It's different. It's getting closer and closer now. Each game is getting more intense to the point where it's kind of flatlining in terms of Origin's not up here like it was.
Yeah, well,
it's kind of
every
game.
game's
Start of the season games look like semi-finals now. It's like,
that other day and
Tigers Para game.
and
It was
Para game.
insane.
Yeah.
Game of the.
I had
the
$10 on Tigers.
Too smart.
Yeah, 13.20 on this odds boost thing.
I don't know
I was like, I'll just do it.
Oh,
See
yeah,
what
why
happens.
not?
And I only watched the second half, and I was like, no way.
Yeah. That was a great game to watch. That had a real semi-final atmosphere about it.
Absolutely.
And that stadium's phenomenal. It really adds to that. That Coliseum feeling.
Is that
type thing.
Bankwest? Was that at Bank?
Yeah. What's it called now? Something else? Combank.
Combank.
Oh, they changed
I
it.
hate that they do that.
Is this the Paris Stadium?
Yeah, they were saying at Combank.
Everyone still
something.
calls it
Oh, they
Paris
ch-
Stadium, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching it saying something about Com. Yeah, Combank.
It sucks the atmosphere out of a place when the corporate shit all takes over.
Yeah.
But they've got to
Yeah.
do it. It's a money thing. So.
It's like the basketball, the Staples Center.
Yeah.
Now it's crypto.com.
Yeah.
That's so
so
wow.
And you're like,
weird.
it's
That's-
legendary.
Staples Center is
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't feel
iconic.
right.
It's like MJ, Shaq,
Doesn't
like
feel right.
Crypto what?
crypto.com.
Why
they
can't
added
they
the
just be Staples Center sponsored by
Buy crypto. Yeah, buy crypto.
or just Crypto Center?
Yeah, we don't need the
Why-
URL. There's a
Yeah.
hyperlink in there to...
I'm sure the Benjamins have something to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
100%.
back to Origin. Is the training a lot different from your...
Um,
in terms of intensity and fitness? Is it a next level, or are you guys already at that?
No, they kind of they don't want to injure you and flog you
Okay,
to death.
so they're just fine-tuned.
It's a fine tuning thing. By the time Origin comes around, everyone's game fit.
Yeah.
And whoever's been picked has obviously been playing well and they're fit, so they don't smash you. The only thing is, like, in 2006, it was, or when I was 20 in 2000, it was still like just drinking every night. But then by the time it was 2006, it was a couple of nights and then much more subdued and professional. And now maybe they lock themselves away and have a drink, a bender or whatever, but it's pretty much nut. Freddie's into his health and fitness stuff too.
Yeah, shout out to Freddie.
yeah.
He's doing so good.
He was there on the
Killer.
weekend at the reunion. He was good. He was in good form. He had
All
a
the
little
boys,
rosy
yeah.
glow, and he was just
Yeah,
in a
dude.
real good mood. He's a good vibe, Freddie. Freddie's
Yeah.
happy. Like a lot of, and then Fletch turns up, and then it's just madness, all fun group of
Yeah, it'd be good
fun
group.
gang, fun gang.
Yeah. I messaged Fletch, try to get him on. He didn't write back.
He will. I'll
Yeah,
tell him
yeah,
he'll
yeah.
come on here.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
only lives too far. He's not too
Yeah,
far.
no,
from
he
me.
lived on my parents' street. So
Yeah.
I've known him for a while.
Yeah, he's just mate.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
No,
one
he's-
of the busiest.
He's busy.
He's got
He's
that many
everywhere,
people
yeah.
coming at him for stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah.
he'll get it. He'll do
I
it.
wasn't surprised he
Holding
didn't
your
write
breath
back
there.
and come
Yeah,
back on Chillionaires.
Yeah.
No, we'll get Fletch on.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
How's Fitzy going? Did you ask him about how he's going with Cronulla?
Yeah, good, mate. He's enjoying it. It's a step up in going from assistant to head coach. It's a big role step, and it's comes with a lot of. Well, he's doing well at the moment. So
Yeah.
but he's no fool. He's a very, very intelligent bloke, and he's in it for the long haul. I think a bloke like Fitzy, he's kind of got a bit of a Wayne Bennett aura about him in terms of respect from the players that he coaches and stuff, because he's just a great bloke. I lived with him for a few years, Fitzy. He was like a big brother without being a wanker big brother. He was just a top bloke,
Yeah.
good morals, and someone you
Trustworthy.
he never talks shit,
Yeah.
takes a piss with the best of them, but he just is a very solid human. And
Workhorse on the field. Too.
Workhorse,
then the way he
yeah.
played
Yeah.
is the way his character is a little
Yeah.
bit
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, you
He's
can see
an
that.
honest man. He's strong with his morals and stuff, and just a top bloke. So, and people, it's so hard to speak to him and not to feel that. So everyone around him. I read a quote. One of the young players that's playing for him now said the other day that he'll run through brick walls for Fitzy.
Yeah,
because I've
right.
only known him for a couple of months, but he makes you want to run through walls. So.
That's unreal. You can actually see it in the Sharks. Like they've
Yeah.
lifted
Yeah,
up.
they're
I
a
don't know.
solid team.
Yeah.
They're top.
They've all
definitely
bought
top
in.
8.
Yep.
They
He's
can
big on
definitely be a top
psychology,
four.
Fitzy too. And a lot of the coaches. I was talking to Trent Robinson he was at the reunion thing too.
Yeah.
And just talking about managing egos and personalities and how psychological coaching is and it's just amazing. Yeah, a big chunk of it is that. Like,
Yeah,
because
it's
a
so
lot of them
interesting.
across the board can jump, run,
Yeah.
tackle.
Well, that's what Cooper Cronk said. He goes, "Mate, I'm not even that talented, but I work hard."
Yeah.
Like it's like it's not all about the talent.
No.
You actually have to do those little 1%ers.
Yeah. And I had this conversation the other day too. Footy's different. Like, you could be the best athlete in one thing and come to footy and just struggle. But a lot of footy players can go to other sports and excel. You don't see a lot of, even like a code that's not too far from it, the same shape ball union, you don't see a heap of union boys coming to league.
Yeah.
A lot of that can to do with money too, because
yeah.
money's better. But
Oh,
also,
right, okay.
you just don't see a lot of... There is examples against what I'm saying, but majority is rugby league players can go off, they can box, they can be MMA fighters, and they don't necessarily just go and dominate that. But the rounded skill set that a rugby league player has translates to other sports where not vice versa in a lot of ways. I don't know what my fucking point was about this.
no, it's good.
No,
man.
but that makes
It's
sense.
insightful,
Well, you look at a union prop and an NRL prop, and there's difficult physical fitness. You know what I mean? Now you look at a front rower.
Yeah.
They're way fitter than what the '90s front rowers were. You know what I mean?
It's just such a brutal niche sport, rugby league, and it's that's why it's not adopted worldwide too. I think simply because it's so fucking hard.
And it's pretty brutal. Like Americans still say, like even when I was at the States, there was a group of Americans watching NRL. It was on like the day after. Yeah. And he was apparently, my mate was telling me, he was explaining to his other American mate how the game works. Yeah. And they was just still amazed that everyone's running at each other with their helmets.
Yeah.
He's like, even a helmet, put a helmet on, you know, like it's.
Yeah.
And that would hurt too.
You'd have to, if you had a helmet, you'd have to have the whole.
You gotta have the whole.
Because helmets in knees and stuff like that. And they tackle differently too. They taught to tackle with their head, jam your head into the middle of someone's breadbasket, opposed to footy, you put them on a shoulder.
Yeah.
But mate, I think I don't know, everyone's getting bigger, faster, stronger. The collisions are getting more intense and unpredictable. There's some horrible injuries. When someone does an injury these days, it's not just an ankle sprain. Something rips off the bone. Yeah. You know, it's brutal. And I think they might have to eventually come up with some sort of, you know, obviously penalising for anything above the shoulders is a first step towards that. But I don't know what the future of rugby league looks like, because I'll tell you what, man, the concussion shit, it's not good.
Yeah, they're
I've been
really
knocked out a few
cracking down.
times, man.
It's
and
not good,
It's not, even like, I wonder sometimes if, I still have effects from that. Sometimes, I wonder.
I was wondering why, because like when Cordner retired, I mean, from my point of view, I was like, nah, this guy's still ripping.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't really understand it. But then someone told me how bad these concussions actually are for like your future.
Long term, yeah.
Long term.
Yeah, it's not now.
Yeah.
It can do some serious damage and it's smart from him and those around him to push him towards that, because he is someone who will die for his teammates.
Oh, man.
And everyone you ask about Boy Corner, they all say the same thing. He's a bit similar to a Fitzy kind of presence.
More of a soldier.
Even people who support South, Para, anything.
Nothing but respect for him.
Corner's the man.
But if he's making the decision that he's not right, then he's not right. Because he would have tried everything to be right.
Yeah.
And I think he had some feet or ankle problems or something too, which is, for a big boy, like feet, when your feet start, like the bones in your feet start going. I had stress fractures in my foot, and that lasted for a year and a half. Like, it just was managing it and constantly. Once they go, it's hard to get them back to, if you got to stay in the game and train and whatever.
Yeah, no, it's
wear and tear, man.
What's your call for this season? What are you feeling? Who's looking good?
It's hard to not get excited about the Sharks and for mate being Fitzy and mate, Para, they're always the same for me. It looked like they could beat anyone on their day and get beat by anyone on their day, and that was the same when I was playing as well. So it wouldn't surprise me if they were there or not. Melbourne, obviously. Isn't it funny? It just goes without saying, Melbourne, that dynasty that Craig Bellamy's built.
It's crazy.
That's
just
incredible.
It's
Melbourne, obviously. It's always
you
every
go
year.
there and you come back a Terminator. You know, and we used to get players come from Melbourne back, and they're just like, it's another level over there.
Is it the fitness? Is the amount of fitness
it's
as well?
Fitness,
it's mental.
It's the intensity of every session, the mental, everything. Across the board, they're ticking all the boxes pretty much. And then, like, a superstar might get injured or he's out for a few weeks, and they just put another unrecognised superstar in.
Yeah, he's ready.
Well,
it's like a robot. It's a robot factory.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like drones in this. All right,
drones.
you're up this week. Drone number 46, you're up.
Yeah, another Smith.
Yeah.
Pop another
That's
Smith.
what I mean.
in.
You lose Slater, Cronk, and Smith,
And look who you get.
and like
You get another
Pappenhausen,
Smith.
Munster.
Pappenhausen.
like,
What?
it's
And
insane.
Munster, how good's he?
Oh, just
Well, he's off the drink, is that right?
Yeah, and you can tell.
You can really see
he looks
it.
super focused. Even
He looks good.
I like watching people in the warm-ups, teams in the warm-ups, and seeing what their kind of energy they have. And even I watch some UFC, and I like watching them walk out, how they look and what their energy looks like and that. And Munster's pre-game face looks different to what it did.
He looks healthier too. Like you really said. The
focused.
way he played the other night, just running through
That's
everyone,
world
scoring.
class. That's
That
like
was,
golden boot. That's best of the best shit.
Yeah,
That's
because everyone was always talking about Munster, and I was like, but then when
he's got a head you don't, you know, if you don't go for Melbourne.
or Queensland. You know, what I mean,
Yeah,
Origins where.
But now I'm like, oh no, he's a footy
He's
player.
a Mickey
he's
Mouse. Yeah, he's a Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
rugby league. So you boys Rooster fans, eh?
Yeah, Rooster. Mighty
mate.
Cox.
Red,
Mighty
White and
Cox.
Bluesters. Yeah, that was a great club. I went there from 2001.
So how long did you play in total?
3 seasons, but I
In your
only
footy
played,
career?
Oh, sorry. So started 99 and then I finished... I played 2010, started 2011 pre-season, but knee was no good, pulled out.
For all the kids watching, there was NRL in '99.
Yeah,
It seems so long ago. Like footy show days.
It doesn't feel that long ago, but it is. Yeah. And then, so 99 through to 2011. It was 14, and then I went back in 2014 to try and play for the Sharks, but I hurt my back and that all fell to shit. But 14 seasons. I know because I completed 14 pre-seasons, and that's my badge of honour. Because they are horrible. Those
are
things.
they? That's the worst part of the.
Yucky. That's the worst training because in the season you can't train like that. You just injure yourself. But
what's all hill sprints and things?
Sand hills, army courses. The yuckest of the yuck. Like in
That's
Parramatta in 45-degree heat with a hot wind blowing. And you've got 80-minute footy course. Brian Smith used to set out this footy course. So you'd like sprint off the mark down and then you'd do 6 tackles and then you'd run across and do a kick return and then you'd sprint and then you'd wait 30 seconds like as if there was a scrum. Just kind of a simulation of a game.
Match
and
fitness.
you'd go 40 minutes of it non-stop and then just do laps of that different course, all different stations. And then you'd have 10-minute break as if it was half time, and then another 40 minutes. So a game simulation training session.
Wow.
In the 40-degree heat.
This is just before Christmas.
Yeah, before Chrissy, and just fit as.
So you got to be cautious through Christmas. You can't blow out.
Yeah, well, they give you stuff to follow and whatever. No one, I didn't. But a lot of people did. But as I got older, I did because you have to, and you just don't want to go back on day one, and you got to play in a month, and you're not there, like you're not up to it. So. It was in your best interest to get your ass on to the gym at least, or at least do some burpees or something yuck. Take yourself to that yucky place every day.
Is that, when you see a team starting off shit and stuff, do you reckon that plays into it? Like you can probably tell that they haven't really taken
it's
funny. It seriously.
It's funny. It's really hard kind of thing to answer because, say, for instance, in 2011 when I started the preseason and Steve Kearney was the coach of Para, it was the hardest training I've ever done, and it was just in 100% intensity every day, long sessions, big fitness sessions, heavy lifting sessions. And I thought these guys, I ended up, my knee's no good, so I pulled out, but I was thinking they're going to win the comp because no one can train that hard and not win a comp. And they started the season, just lost everything, just kept losing and losing. It was went too hard maybe, you
just
know?
gassed them.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
and just peaked in the preseason instead of maybe tapering. Maybe that could have been it. Could have been other stuff too. I don't know, but that was really weird to see everyone look like you were saying, like robots, big, strong, muscly, fit humans, just not be able to put it together on the field. It was weird after doing all that hard work. But footy's a funny game like that.
Yeah,
and you can be like us in 2009, losing every game, and then all of it was up to the point where if we lost another game, we were definitely not making the semis, and we had Melbourne and Bulldogs, who were the first 1 and 2. We were down the bottom. We beat those two and then win 10 in a row or something till the grand final. And the difference was all mental because we had the same physical attributes, everything. No one just all of a sudden got fitter and stronger. We just, after we beat those two top teams, the whole vibe in the place flicked and we became this so-called juggernaut. And that was all just off the back of confidence from a win. Mm-hmm. So a team who's losing, if they win one week, they can turn it all around.
Tigers fans right now just listening.
That's it. Hey, you watch now, who are they playing this? They got a big game.
They've got a big game.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
Is it Souths? Is it?
But what you'll see is their energy and their attitude will be similar to the other night now because they know that if they take that to the, put that in their kit bag, they're gonna. That's
Madge kept his job. That was the. I was watching that going. Will he keep his job?
It's such a mate. You wouldn't be no, they get paid well, so I can see why. But bloody hell, man.
We even look at Bellamy. I'm like, how is he? I'd be dead at that age, that angry, and even when he's winning, he's stressing out.
Yes,
it's never ending.
It's never good enough.
He's a pretty unique human being. Man.
Yeah, great coach.
5 seconds left, you see him smashing the
leaving the room.
40-0.
Leaving the room. Should be 46-0. That's what he's
flying
probably
out everywhere. He's a great fella too. He was on the 2005 Kangaroo Tour. He was assistant coach to Wayne.
Okay.
And just another great bloke that has doesn't say much, but when he does, you shut up and listen because he's a smart fella, you know.
It's like Robbo. Like, I'm such a big fan of Robbo.
Yeah, he's a champion. I went to school with Robbo. He was a couple of years older than me.
Oh, wow.
And he's always just been that. Everyone loves Robbo because he's just a real humble, down-to-earth bloke. He loved his footy. He was always good energy, good bloke to be around. And then it was great just to see him. Shit, he's going to be a first-grade coach. I never saw that coming. And then
wins the GF.
Obviously, very smart bloke, and starts winning grand finals, and that's like, well done, mate. It's good.
Yeah, showers, Robbo. So who was coaching
Roosters? So you were there 2003?
Graham Murray, yeah.
Oh, Graham Murray, yeah.
God rest his soul. He brought me over, and then it was pretty lackadaisy. Like, I don't know if they made the semis. I don't think they did that year. I wasn't playing. I was still shit knee from para. So I missed the whole 2001. I went there in March and didn't play all year, but it was dead set. It was like Mad Monday every week. Like, it was every week we'd be at the Palace or somewhere around here, somewhere in the city somewhere, and it was just full on the piss all night and the next night. And I don't know how they were playing footy. Like, my knee was getting swollen. Then all of a sudden Ricky Stewart came, and that just got shut the shit down straight away, man. He was like a fucking army sergeant.
And the boys listened to it.
Oh, and they won the comp. So how can you say it, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone at the start was like, oh, no, this is horrible. But then halfway through, they'd all bought into it. And they were murdering teams like Adrian Morley and sprinting down off the kickoff and just ramming their bodies through.
He was vicious, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was good to see him. He flew out from England to go to the reunion.
Oh, he was there as well,
yeah. He came, he stayed for 4 days and got back on. He drank the whole time, I think. And he's a champion, Moz. He's one of the best all-time
Yeah, he was saying he hasn't seen most of the boys in like 20 years or
yeah,
something.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was probably about 15 since I'd seen him, yeah.
Wow.
He's a champion, mate. He's one of the greats.
Shout outs. So I wanted to also ask you, you have one of the funniest Instagram accounts I've ever seen.
Oh, geez. I think they're going to cut. I got another warning the other day.
Oh, you've been getting warning?
But now you get warning, like if you use... Like if there's a song in the background and it's recognised on their system or whatever, they're like, oh, you can't use this violation, another violation, you cancelled or whatever. So I'm that close to being canned because I was posting like a bit controversial shit, I guess, for Instagram, like about...
the prank calls
the prank texts?
No, I didn't ever got into trouble for them. I got more in trouble for like the anti-woke and lefty shit that I'd bag or whatever. Like
they fucking don't like it.
They must be woke lefties who own it. Well, I know Zuckerberg is, but obviously Twitter's the worst for it.
Yeah.
You can't say boo on there if you're anything out of their kind of... If you start talking politics and shit, you get shut down pretty quick.
Elon Musk to change that.
Yeah, apparently. I don't know. I don't trust Musk. Something about him.
He's up to something. He's up to something.
He does have all the money in the world. He can literally do whatever he wants.
It wouldn't surprise me if he was a robot, man.
Yeah, some sort of alien breed. Definitely.
Yeah, it's awkward.
So you on the TikTok as well?
No, I'm not on TikTok. Like, first off, it's MySpace, and then MySpace, I thought it was pretty cool. It was like, you know, a bit more decorated and that. It was cool. It's like, you know, a bit visually a bit more pleasing. Then Facebook, I was like, it's just boring MySpace. It's a boring MySpace.
Yeah.
But then it was like, less is more. I get it. And then Facebook, Twitter is like even less. It's like a paragraph. And then Instagram it became about photos. Like, that's my go. It's photos and just you can just post any visual shit. I like visual shit.
Yeah. And
then I was like, no more. Like, then Snapchat, I download that because the friggin' them faces are unbelievable. Those filters.
Yeah.
But then then TikTok, I'm like, nah, I'm not having any more fucking platforms I've got to look at and check.
OnlyFans
and
shit.
OnlyFans, yeah. What about that? That's crazy, eh?
Oh man,
you can just be a dopey girl,
girl or boy,
and just put yourself out there.
It's like that. Remember that bad Catch Me Outside girl?
Yeah, bad baby. $1 million one day.
Yeah. He's got all the stats.
If anyone in the world
contributed to that $1 million.
Yeah.
If anyone in the world shouldn't have $1 million, it's probably the Cash Me Outside.
Yeah. She's got 50 million. I looked up
Good
this
on
morning.
her.
50 million.
Is that her net worth?
That's her net worth. She made 50 million from late. She's got a makeup line.
I'd rather be a chick.
Or from being a little brat, not listening to your mum.
What the fuck's the obsession with making fuckwits famous?
I don't know. It's
TikTok.
new-
But
it's
everyone
new.
wants to watch it too. Like I watch maths sometimes because it's so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I just want to fucking kill someone on it, and I've got to watch it because I fucking.
I wanna know what happens,
I don't
yeah.
want to feel like that.
Yeah.
The producers of like a reality TV show, like they had you on the thing. They're like, okay, now we'll cancel.
yeah.
You fucking
Mate.
He went there.
Those
Mate, you should
shows.
go on Survivor. You'd fucking
Survivor?
dominate.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck,
What's-
I'd be-
who
Or
was-
the SAS.
I don't think
Croc-
my
Croc-
head space. I don't think I'd want to be around. Like, if there's a few people there and they put them in there on purpose to antagonise
Yeah,
and shit,
yeah.
I've got no fuse for that shit.
What
That's
about
why you'd
SA?
be so good,
Would
bro.
you do SAS?
SAS. That's the best. I reckon that's the best show for a reality TV show
Yeah.
because
Yeah. It breaks
celebrities,
them.
you go on there and they're fucking putting themselves out there.
Yeah.
Like it made me like people that I never really.
Yeah, you
used to
see the
think
realness
much
of them.
Yeah, like remember that
Yeah.
Aaron someone.
Molan or
No,
Aaron Mullen. Oh, Aaron. Not McNaught. Was she on it?
McNaught.
McNaught was on
Yeah,
it.
she was on it, and I didn't know. I just thought she was like a model thing or whatever. I did a few bits and pieces media, but she was like on there to fucking find herself a bit and
Oh,
test
that's
herself,
unreal.
and she was a tough chick, man. Like,
We
she's
should get her on. Talk to her
yeah,
about
she
that.
was. She
That'd
was
be
really
good, yeah.
tough and really no nonsense and the opposite of a model. What you would think, and someone who's a bit in that.
So she wasn't there for the clout.
No,
Yeah, she wasn't there stroking her
obviously,
hair.
it does help that too. Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
she's
careers.
smart. She would know that going in, but she wasn't there taking the piss either. Like she ripped into it, and she's a tough. It made me think, what a tough girl, you know.
Yeah, that's
and
unreal.
people like that, like that, you would think normally see in the social scenes or whatever, in the social pages or whatever, and you see them on there and they're broken and they're. It's like, good. This is awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Well,
Like
the
this-
Paul Fennick was it Paul? Yeah, Paul.
Was he on it?
Oh yeah.
what's
The
Fat Pizza.
Fat Pizza fella.
Oh,
yeah,
did he go on it?
Oh,
See-
he was. Did you watch his
yeah,
stuff?
he got a lot of people offside, eh? Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, he became quite like, very short fused, and you could
Yeah.
tell he was over it, and it was probably a big emotional thing to be in that environment.
Oh
for
no!
him.
I
and-
think I
Yeah.
caught an
The
episode where
ego.
they had to like actually talk to him.
And that,
or
yeah,
some
the other
shit.
guy was some Bachelor Survivor guy.
Yeah,
Remember he had
yeah.
the-
Yeah,
it's
oh,
funny.
yeah.
It's funny what comes out of someone
Lucky.
when they're because you know what they do. Like on the reality TV shows, they keep you hungry. Even on like things like Celebrity Apprentice and all that, they keep you hungry and busy and stressed, so you snap. So they get it on
Irritable.
camera.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
these shit, like all these crazy people they get on maths and all that. It's all perfectly crafted, handpicked.
Oh, yeah,
they
it's-
interview them all, and they want crazy people.
Yeah.
And they tell all these people that they're going to be this and it's going to be this for their business, and they'll do that and it'll elevate their status. And they go in there feeling like, oh, this is going to be amazing. And they get in there, and they don't know that they're the one that's been made out to be the psycho with the creepy music that comes on every time.
Yeah.
Or they keep putting it on when someone's staring into space, just like anyone does at any time of day, and they'll just get 10 of those shots and just keep playing them back to back. Next minute, this poor bloke or girl
That's
has got
so
a fucking
heavy.
whole army of hate out for
Yeah,
her,
yeah.
and she comes out thinking, oh, I'm going to be famous on that, and it's just the opposite. And they have mental breakdowns, and the geniuses that do this get them back on after they've broken down and get more ratings on their channel, you know.
Yeah.
Do a
They really-
big tell-all on a
yeah.
current affair. It's the same fucking channel.
Yeah.
They
You
really
know?
they can like paint a picture of you
Oh,
like,
they're
however they
they're
want.
evil, smart and evil.
Yeah.
No, it's that world is a different world, eh? That entertainment stuff.
Hey, have you got any I don't know any Mad Monday stories you can share? Give us the details.
Mad Monday. That feels
Give us
like
the
every Mad
insight.
Monday was one big one.
Was it with Para? Did you go? Was there a specific place you go
Yeah,
every
the
year?
Royal Oak, which is just up the road from the stadium. It's just this dingy little corner pub, but it's just got the best atmosphere. 99 was my first experience of a Mad Monday. I had Jim Dimmick and Jared McCracken, Jason Smith, all the big names, and I was just like a kid in a candy store, and everyone just sitting there for a couple of days just drinking and smoking darts and stuff, things you never see them doing, you know, on TV. And it was a massive eye-opener, mate. And it's back then it was a lot more lackadaisy. Like, it'd spill out onto the road and the cops weren't as full on. By the time you got older, our Mad Mondays were like, we got to hide, make sure, has anyone got phones? Turn your phones off. All that shit. It was just like, fucking hell, this isn't Mad Monday at all.
Just quick.
It's
That's so
anxiety.
dog when those little phone snippets come out, like
Yeah.
with the monster and that. It's like who was
Why
just
have
sitting
a
there
phone
with?
on? Like,
Yeah.
why have a phone on if you're doing all that shit?
It would have to be someone's. It wouldn't be one of the boys. It would be someone's friend. Or,
Yeah.
Usually an outsider
Yeah.
trying to
get
out
some
'cause
money. Yeah,
Todd
yeah. Look
Carney's
who I'm
weed
with.
in his mouth in
Yeah.
the fucking
The
like,
bubbler.
Kiss is pumping a dog. You know, even that.
That was even
Everyone's
that was
picked up a little dog and just had a little go. No one's done that. Picked up a little animal and just.
well, I personally haven't.
No, you haven't.
I I don't think I've done that recently.
But the bubbler was
if I did
next
that to my
level.
dog, he'd probably bite me through.
That's what I mean. Everyone's picked up a dog. And
Yeah, it's.
I get what Pierce was doing. It was like
It wasn't like he's going to root the dog.
I'm a drunk idiot. Whatever.
if he had his dick out, then I'd be
No,
like,
no.
bro.
This was like footy player 101.
It was a shit look, but they fucking.
Oh, and
they
then with
carried
the
on.
Like the bubbler was a bit more heavy.
Well, no.
Well, the
what happened?
bubbler's like if he
What
was a-
happened
it's
was
his-
the bloke was behind me going, "Oi, bubbler, toddy bubbler," and he's like, fucking bang, perfect shot, all across the fucking news. Yeah, and Toddy, fuck that. Just
Look, I
ended
think
bad.
if he did it in his own house, it's like, well, hey, he can do that. In his own. But he was at a club, so
Yeah,
it
it was
was like,
in the toilet, fucking, I don't know. Anyway, but guess it. Yeah, I can see why it's a brand, so they got to fucking, keep up to a standard.
Yeah,
or whatever, but it
it's got kids watching them.
What do they expect? Like, a lot of footy players are hot-blooded, fucking blue collar.
Yeah.
Working class, come
Yeah,
from
yeah.
that old school kind of mentality, and they want them. People want to see them be warriors and weapons on the field, and then spin out that they're fucking a little bit loose. When
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
fucking-
yeah, it's like you're in
Yeah,
NRL
well, you want them to be
player.
loose as fuck on the field, and then
Yeah.
it comes to off the field, you expect them just to be upstanding citizens. And there is
Reading a book
examples
in the
of that.
library and
yeah,
on a Friday
it
night.
doesn't attract that type of.
No.
It does. Some of them are. There's some very intelligent blokes who play footy, but I mean, there's also a lot of blokes like us who just knock about, take the piss, and
Yeah,
whatever.
have a bit of fun.
Yeah, you just got to be a bit smarter, I guess, with it, eh?
Well, now everyone's got a camera. Your days it was a little bit harder to get everything on footage.
Yeah, the first Nokia cameras came out. When I remember when I was playing footy, and I was like, I don't think this is a fucking good thing at all. I remember someone was out. I can't remember who it was. It was a big name player too, and he was just talking to a girl, and someone just went, "Send to the girl." Fucking done. Divorce. Like,
no way.
I was just talking to her like fucking. And then all that shit started happening. I was like, oh shit, now the cameras are getting better. There's 3 cameras on the back of my phone. Like,
Yeah.
you can zoom in. I could fucking zoom into the Roosters fucking Mad Monday at Palace from here. And, it's just, no phones. There's nothing really crazy going on that needs to be filmed anyway.
It's OnlyFans now, man. Everything's
that's
done.
it.
Exactly.
It's done.
That's it.
It's
Yeah.
done, bro.
Yeah.
Let's bring the bubbler back. Stop pissing your mouth again.
Kids out there, just get the bubble going.
Train your bubblers.
Don't do the bubbler, kids.
So who's your picks this year for like who's your standouts? Like your Manus, the guys that are standing out. Who you reckon's
Mate, I love Pappenhausen.
Oh, he's just
So do you watch every game? Are you still?
No, I don't. I will. The last couple of years more so than ever. Like, I
'cause of
never watched
COVID,
it when I
yeah.
played, and now just being out of it, it's like a little bit interesting, especially when friends are coaching or have something to do with a club. I'm like,
Yes.
see how they go. Yeah, I've actually enjoyed that. Watched the Para Tigers game now. That was a real
was
fun
unreal.
game, man.
It was unreal.
Even seeing the Tigers step up was.
Yeah. Well,
actually-
it's hard not to. Like, I play for Para, but it's hard not to. Good on you, boys. I was like, good on you.
Are
Disappointing.
they your team that you're like you root for? sort of
Para?
thing? Yeah.
I don't really root for anyone
Yeah, you just-
specifically. It's hard not to feel a bit nostalgic watching Para with the colours and
Yeah.
stuff. And I would have loved to
Family
play at that
background, yeah.
new stadium and the family thing. But
Yeah.
no, I got that. I guess go for the underdog mentality a bit with it all. I like to see a team who's not expected to win turn up and surprise
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It's always fun. Same in any sport. I like watching that. I don't know what that mentality is like. Why don't we like the winners? It's
Yeah,
like you
it's
want to see the loser
They're
win.
the bandwagon team.
Tall,
And if you
yeah.
like them, you've jumped on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Tall
That's-
poppy syndrome.
Yeah, I think that might be it. It's
100%.
It is, man. It is. It probably is from me too, subconsciously or whatever. But I didn't have that when I used to watch Khabib fight, because a lot of people hated Khabib because he used to ground and pound, and it was a bit boring for, say, all the Conor nut huggers who love that he knocks people out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mixed martial arts. It's not boxing. I'll go box if you want to watch that, or kickboxing or whatever. But I wanted to see Khabib do that to everyone and piss everyone off along the way. So it wasn't really coming from a nice place either. But it's, that's the only time I haven't had that underdog kind of.
So you watch other UFC, you watch other sports?
I watch a lot of UFC. Just to me, it's the most ultimate test. Like, you're going out there, there's no teammates. You walk out, you're in the ring.
Who's our Aussie? He's the lightweight UFC or something, or boxer.
There's a couple.
He's a boxer. So he's got a fight coming up. He's sick.
Oh, George Kimbosh.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's a talent. Yeah, he's a talent.
I heard a podcast of him the other day, and he was talking about like he hangs out with heaps of footy players as well.
Yeah,
and,
he
like,
does that. Actually, I've seen that. He's got
Yeah.
a few mates who are footy players. Yeah. No, he's lightning, man. He's
Yeah.
lightning.
Is he the Rooster supporter one? So the one talking about the Rooster?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Not too sure.
Yeah.
But then I also heard Sonny Bill might be fighting Jake Paul. You heard this?
Nah.
Jake Paul said it.
Jake Paul
They're like,
said
who you
it.
fighting next? It's like, oh, some Aussie guy called Sonny Williams.
Wow. Oh, really?
Yeah. So
That's
Oh, mate.
good work for
like
Sonny.
you see Jake Paul say it, like that's fucking massive.
Oh, he would. Sonny would punch the piss out of it. Oh, well.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
I think it's a
Just-
good.
Jake Paul's a good athlete, man. They
He's
wrestle.
good.
They make out like they're just YouTube stuff. They've wrestled in sports their whole high school.
yeah,
No, he's got his
Exactly,
head down. He's training
Yeah,
every day.
he's
and
not
everything.
dumb. He sounds dumb, but he's not. And geez, if Sonny can get that, far out.
Because I wouldn't have believed it unless Jake Paul actually said it.
I would
himself,
think
you
that
know?
Jake Paul wouldn't, because he can get named. He could fight a Connor if he really wanted to, or something like that. You
That's
know?
what I was. Yeah.
And
If
not
I
that
find it,
Sonny's
I'll
not
send it
He's
to
the
you.
biggest name in what we know, like footy and stuff. But I
Yeah.
think globally, probably not.
It didn't make sense to me either. I was like, this does.
That can be just a bit of like get a few followers, cross promo stuff.
Yeah, he
too.
might be fucking around or something.
They might have texted, "Oh, you say this, say
Yeah.
that." You know, you never know.
He does that. He trolls it. So.
Hey, Jake, it's Sonny. Can you shout us out?
You know, Sonny's he's a good man.
He's a champion, mate. He's a very humble fella. Always has been.
Yeah.
Never ever once would anyone have said Sonny's a cocky, because he's the number one, man. Like everyone wants Sonny, wants to be around him, wants him in the team. He's a fantastic bloke to have in your club, even if he's not playing his best footy, because what he does off the field, it really, like when he went to the Roosters, everyone started doing extras and training better because Sonny was doing it, and he's just a really amazing
I've
influence.
heard he's got the amazing discipline.
He's
in
such
terms
a
of
professional,
diet.
mate. Yeah, he's a full-on professional. Yeah, He's
Yeah,
a gun.
when he comes to, if he's just there even at training, like you said, everyone's going to lift up and just you want to play for him.
Yeah, that's
kind of
right.
thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of times coaches and clubs will sign players not only for their on-field stuff, because there can be some brilliant on-field guys that shit off it and they won't sign them, and there can be blokes who aren't fantastic on it but do the job, but they're great off it, and that'll help them get a contract too. So.
Para's got to get you at training, mate. Lift the boys up.
Yeah.
Would you ever step into any like kind of trainer roles or like coaching roles?
It's funny. My partner, she is looking to play women's rugby league, and I've been training her, and I really enjoy putting her through some of the stuff that I used to have to do, and I watch some of the stuff that's going on today, some of the modern drills and stuff, and yeah, I wouldn't mind helping out, say the back three, like doing some coaching with the wingers and fullback for kick returns and stuff like that, and yeah, it's always fun to do that stuff, but it's not a career path for me or anything like that. I enjoy talking about it now that I'm not in it, and yeah, looking at it from like a different perspective, Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just in the meantime, put up some marquees.
Just chuck a marquees
Chuck
up.
a marquee up,
Oh,
mate.
we're flat out this
Marquee
weekend.
Sydney higher.
Yeah, marquee high Sydney.
Higher Sydney.
Marquee House. And so we good? We want to wrap this one up? I think
Yeah,
that was
think
pretty
we're-
good, mate. So what's your Instagram for everyone watching? We can follow you.
At Eric Grothe Jr. So EricGrothe, no W, and JR on the end. Eric
No
Grothe
W.
Jr.
I actually put a W.
I've got a backup Eric Grothe without the junior because I'm going to get cancelled soon.
Nice. Step ahead.
Yeah, follow him before he gets cancelled.
I'm going to make it my point to get cancelled this year.
And
That's my goal.
same username for his OnlyFans. Look up,
Guys, I'll give you a little bit.
that comes up soon.
If you need a marquee High Sydney.
Marquee High Sydney, yep. It's marqueehighsydney.com, and ring us early because the last minute ones kill me. No, it's awesome.
But mate, thanks so much for
you,
coming on
Eric.
Chillionaires.
Brother,
Like
thank
really
you.
appreciate you
No worries,
making
brother.
the trip out
Appreciate
here.
it, man.
No worries, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching today's episode. Peace.
Peace.